I mean, for Impunity KH, they know that even if they have defeated this Esmeralda before, they've chosen not to give it away to RRQ, knowing that this is like one of the comfort picks.
Your team
Wow.
is
So
picking.
they go for the Selena ban, kind of knowing that this is going to be a jawhead on the off lane. By the way, Nomad, I think that jawhead is such a good pick for RQ because it's great versus squishy heroes like Louis, massive against the Claude. Not only that, it's a good deny pick for RQ. They will
That
not give
is
it away
true.
to
Your team
Impunity
is
KH.
picking.
We're gonna see secure the Farsa just to get a bit more of that CC, not CC, but DPS down the line. Farsa in the early game is painful. Masha and Kaja and it's hovering over the Cho.
Oh man, if they pick the Terizla again, I might have doubts about this team because it wasn't successful before, and I don't see it gonna being. I don't see it differently in this specific game. It's not good against almost anybody from RQ. Maybe it's decent against the Joint, but it's not that good. And even the Link can burst down the Terizla for sure. I think the Link is such a free pick now for RQ. This is such a uh, weird decision from Impunity KH, at least from my end. Them prioritizing the Terizla over anything else kind of puts a question mark on me, but the
Oh,
carry for the burst down. They don't want to go Link because they might be forced in the early game to a spot where they cannot take it back in the late game because they're already defeated. But nonetheless, Nomad, carry is how do I say this? You can never go wrong with this. I'd say.
can never go wrong. It's like, yeah, who else is our who's going to be our core? Huh? Carrie's reliable. That's the thing. She is reliable. There are some merits into being a reliable.
Perhaps some latency issues out there. In all honesty, Nomad, we've kind of you're hyping a lot of stuff, but in the end, it seems like it's not even a one-sided game at all. It is pretty much even at this point. It's 15.7 compared to 15.9.
It's pretty much even, but it's it's still gonna be boiling down to the side laners here. I'm gonna be focusing on XOXO and Naker for this discussion because of the fact that Naker hasn't been really showing up as a proper Masha player in this game. Typically, you see the Masha soloing the objectives and diving into the enemy lines and try to steal off the buffs there, and it's not happening. Niker needs to do that in order to assure that his team is ahead, especially against this Albert. Doing a good job on that Yu Zhong, albeit the fact that he did lose out his top lane, it doesn't matter. He adds a lot to the team fight whenever he goes to the Black Dragon form. It really disrupts Impunity's momentum in the skirmish.
Yeah. Onto the turtle they go. Farsa with the feather there. Strike. Who's gonna take this? It's gonna be the blue side with the last hit from the Terizla, which is weird because of the fact that Terizla's not known to get the last hits on turtles. Nevertheless, with that extra shields, I guess they're fine with it. Would have been better if it was on Niker or on Claude, but it is what it is. At the very least, they have secured the turtle.
It's starting to be a trend that the Demon Hunter Swords is not the first pick for Claude. 7 minutes in the Demon Hunter Sword. I think he prioritized the Raptor Machete on top of that.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely the trend now. Almost any marksman that I know is for that. The teleportation is they get out. Boom is the one left. Where did they go? Into the middle because that's where they want to push. Sometimes you just teleport to push, not to get the kill.
Top lane.
Top lane.
Top lane though, Masha in a bit of a duel there against Albert. Albert almost gets taken out. Nice timing by XOXO.
Wow. XOXO. Just in time to help his teammate. Carry gets out into safety. One crucial item, however, for the Atlas. Gets the dominant signs for his team. Great versus all of the physical damage criticals, as well as other of the sources of damage sources, I mean, of RRQ, which is more than likely just from physical. Only the Farsa deals significant magic damage at this point.
Yeah. And it still looks like an even matchup here. Except for the turrets, but, you know, all things considered, it's still hard to tell who is going to be coming out on top here. I think one big team fight will sway the odds into whichever team. Top lane, though, Naker is going to be paying the price. Unstoppable Force and the Smart Missiles are going to be more than enough to secure that kill, and that's going to be the turret falling down as well. And suddenly,
wow,
RQ kind of shifted the momentum towards their side.
I like it. Oh, the Cobra jumps onto the middle. The turtle will be taken by the Claude. So, just like in the previous games, Impunity KH really prefers the turtle over turrets. It's always a choice. What you go for? The Fatal Link's gonna be used, but the flicker away from the Farsa keeps himself safe. And the turret up top is gonna be taken out. So this is honestly such an even game. But there's some differences when it comes to priorities. On the middle, they want to go for the Kupra. Even with the ultimate, oh, look at how tanky that Kupra is. Yuzhong on the backlines stops the advance from Impunity KH. Nice knockoff onto 2, but the penalty zone is there to kind of stop this. XOXO now in trouble, but with all of the resistances that he has, he is going to be able to run away. Niker barely survives that one.
And this is going to be staying in the lane. Just try to push out the bot lane to equalize the momentum. Skylar is going to go for the Unstoppable Force onto Claude, and he eventually gets taken out by Kufra.
Wow, I guess that was the passive of Kufra that
yeah.
off in time. Because he barely survived in there. Nevertheless, he's taken out, so that's a big victory favoring RRQ. Always want to take down the opposing carry. Because that means that you'll have, I guess, a minute or so worth of farm that you'll have an advantage. But the purple buff side, 7k is almost taken out. What a nice vacuum from Rukimaru, but it will not stop the fact that the Joyd is taken out. That means that another bonus skill is going to be in favor of RQ now. No man.
Yeah, they're struggling to secure this mid lane turret, and I feel like they need to start opening up the mid lane so that they can freely rotate across the side of Impunity KH. And good defense from Impunity KH altogether, but eventually this turret's gonna go down, and Impunity KH, they need to start focusing on other avenues in this game. They're trying so hard to defend this mid lane because they know how important this mid lane is.
I like it. I like what you pointed out. They don't want to give it away because that means that this turret in the middle as well as this turret in the bottom kind of makes them secure this orange buff as well as other parts of the jungle. The Lord though, it's gonna be taken by the It's not gonna be enough though. It comes the Farsa Fender. There's like taking down the Atlas. Rukimaru tries to save his teammates, but will not be enough. Very nice initiations, but the lack of follow-up meant that it's still gonna be an even game. Namasha wasn't there. Sneaky Niker doing sneaky Niker things. Well, that there is the my oh my, secured the turtle earlier, and now the Lord. How valuable is that?
Pardon my French, that was so freaking good.
Oh yeah.
Like, good steal on that Lord. Sure, the last insanity is going to be committed there, but that just disrupted the entirety of RRQ, right. And that allowed Niker to start pushing at the top lane, and that man, that was so beautiful. That was a beautiful steal.
And you could have sworn that it was RQ already taking the control of the game, that they have already gotten the momentum, but that big stop, defensive stop from Impunity KH meant that they still have the grip of this game. Especially because Niker was also able to take out an inhibitor up top. In the middle, surely go down. That means no more outer turrets available for RQ.
Man, we were talking about Niker not being an impact in the game, in the early game. Now he is. And a good 3-man last Fatal Links there as the HPs quickly melt on the side of RRQ. A Black Dragon form from XOXO, I don't think is going to be more than enough. It is a 2-for-2 trade. This mid lane inhibitor turret is going to go down, and Impunity KH just managed to tip the tails completely, drop the 1-ton weight on one side.
8-2-4 pops the ultimate, but he's going to be punished. They're taking a lot of time taking this Kupra, but they will eventually do it. Now Yuzhong wants to go for the Luyi. Luyi pops the ultimate, wants to save his teammate, but no, it's just diversion. Penalty zone could have hidden that man, but he gets away into safety. Albert trying to survive this. Went onto nothing. but air.
I mean, 2 bullets hit.
Yeah, 2 bullets, I guess. So many
Imagine
good plays. So many good
so
plays,
many.
but only 1 inhibitor down. That's how you know that teams are equally matched. Even when another team goes for a good play, another team goes for another, it's even in the end. That's how you know that it's good. Skylar, though, is gonna be focused down up top, but because of Bless's feather there strike, the rest of the game will not continue.
Man, imagine a seesaw. It's perfectly balanced in the middle.
Yeah.
Impunity's on the left, RQ's on the right. Immediately, Impunity dropped a 1-ton package on top and just tipped the scales completely.
Yep.
That's how that that's how that Lord Steel happened. That's what that Lord Steel did to the game.
That, and then on top of it, some more added pounds with the Fatal Links from 7. Back-to-back good Fatal Links. Allowed OP as well as Boom and Niker to be comfortable now. It doesn't matter if you're like stronger than your opponents or more farmed. What matters is if you can move in the team fight so comfortably compared to the opposing carry. You know that the tanks are doing doing a great job. If the tanks facilitate for the marksmen to have a good time in the clash, you know that they're good.
That's true. And 824 is not looking good here as he is going to be singled out and be taken out by four members over at the top lane. XOXO is going to be able to take down Masha. Masha's at a point where she's going to get eliminated without any problems, and she needs to start joining the team fights. If not joining the team fights, start split pushing and be safe about it.
Man.
Because XOXO, you could just snipe her out without any problems.
Look at the OP and the gang. They've decided to take down the Lord because they know that they have a man advantage over their opponents. It's without Skylar as well as the Kufra, OP has got free reign onto this Lord, unless the Farsa steals it. Not gonna be the case, as that's OP to take it down. Yuzhong was able to push it for a little bit up top just to flow the minion wave there. Nevertheless, OP with this Lord secure on the side of Impunity KH, they have once again tilted the seesaw on their side.
RQ though, they're still not out of the game. We're at a point in the game where money doesn't really matter anymore, so to speak. It's all about our rotations here.
It matters
Despite
for
the fact,
supports, though. But yeah,
unless for the support,
I agree. It's all about making them say, I mean, if this carry has got what 12k when it comes to gold, but is immediately taken down by his opponents, that won't matter. Absolutely. So yeah, I get what you're saying. It's all about who makes the worst mistake now, Nomad.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna be looking at mistakes being made. I hope mistakes were not made here, just outplaced left and right as RRQ 824 tries to go for the Rage. Rage not going to be connecting a lot of people. HPs are dropping dangerously low here on the side of RRQ, and the rest of Impunity is going to be securing the game and forcing the victory. A reverse sweep.
Oh, man.
Oh, not a reverse sweep, but a comeback.
A comeback.
From Impunity.
Let's say. Impunity KH. Wow. That in that specific clash, in the last exactly last clash, we know that the match